40k all the way. Oh yes. We've had a delivery. Oh yes, we have 16 tonne of lime turned up to spread on our fields to make them all better again. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's what we've been told, that's what I've been advised, so that's what we're going to do. You'd usually have this turn up in like Arctic loads, which would be a lot more cost effective. Only having a small 16 tonne load, this has actually come out at £31.50 a tonne, so a little bit dearer than what most people would have to pay for lime, but being that we've only got a small acreage, we don't need masses of it. So the problem we've got is that we don't have a lime spreader, and getting a contractor in to spread that would cost quite a lot of money. Luckily, my brother-in-law, Leigh, has a friend who has a lime spreader that we can borrow. So I need to go and pick up that lime spreader today, and then tomorrow morning, which you'll see in a minute, we'll be spreading this. So we'll be loading it with a Manitou and spreading it on all of our fields. But let me just go and show you our field issue first, so that you can see why we need some lime. So these are our fields that you can see down to the bottom hedge line down there, all the way through, and then another one out of a big one out over there where you can see the sheep are at the moment. This is the main field which has got the issues, and you see the grass is quite yellow in there. Now it has been topped off about 3 weeks ago, so it's looking a little bit better than it was, but back in the summer that was horrible compared to how green and lush this one was looking. Because when we took the hay off this last year, we sort of took a lot of the goodness and nutrients out of the ground but didn't replace anything. This year we have spread it with dung, and next year we're planning on spreading some fertiliser on it, but what it needs at the moment is some lime to bring back the neutrality, I don't know if that's a word or not, but in the ground to be able to help the grass look much better. And then over here you'll see we've got lots of rushes. Now I have actually sprayed off these rushes about 10 days ago, and they're just starting to go over, but again, everyone's recommended to me that if you put some lime on the ground, you'll have less problems with rushes. So hopefully a mixture of all of that will solve some of our issues. Right, so let's go on a road trip and go and get this lime spreader. We are well en route. Got a little bit of drizzle, but that ain't gonna stop us. Wally down here in the cab, keeping me company. Couldn't go on a road trip without me dog, could I? What a booty. 40k all the way. Oh yes. Good old Sammy Silver. It's actually quite a comfortable tractor on the road. It's got like old hat cab suspension, like springs and shocks, but it's a bit crap, but it's better than nothing at all. When you go over a bump, like on a sideways motion, it probably goes bang. Other than that, proper. But yeah, we're doing all right. What do you make of it, Wall? Do you like it down there? We go down with splitters around this corner, a bit sharp. Back up the splitters. Wow. Don't do very much road work with tractors these days. Used to in my younger days. Never been a fan of road work in a tractor. So there she is, the beautiful land drive powered axle lime spreader. What a honey. Apparently we've got to do a bit of a repair when Leigh turns up back here somewhere, but we'll sort that out when he turns up. But yeah, there it is. What a little honey badger. Perfect. All right, let's get her hitched up and get on. Right, all hitched up. Let's get back on the road. Come on, Wall, ready for our next adventure. Good lad, come on in. Tell me a 4-cylinder tractor with a factory fitted exhaust sound as good as that. What a babe. A little bit of weight behind her. She loves it. Absolutely loves it. I probably enjoyed that more than I probably should have. But anyway, we've landed back home. Spreader's back here. I just put it in the wash bay because it is quite grubby. So we'll give that a bit of a steam clean first, I think. Make everything easier to work on tomorrow for the repair that Leigh's got to do. And also, hopefully everything will slide a bit better. And yeah, we will be in a minute, hopefully. Spreading some lime. So we are all ready to go. Lime's ready. Spreader's ready. Manatee's ready. Leigh, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ideal.
See what we can do.
At least I've got a driver who's actually done this before, so hopefully we should have success.
Yeah, no problem.
That's the plan. So I'm going to load him up and he's going to go and spread it.
See what we can do.
There are, Leigh, all spread.
Yeah, all gone, all in and all spread all across your field. So hopefully that will improve your pH, and if you can get a good pH value, it gets your grass growing, get a good heart in the ground, and then hopefully you make some more good grass for your hay.
Get away from the yellow grass.
Yeah, exactly.
And get away from the rushes, hopefully, as well.
Yeah, they do say lime does well, either gets rid of rushes or definitely slows them down anyway. So
obviously, when we cut the rushes back along, we cut them when they were all the seed heads. So some people said to me, "Oh, all the seeds you just spread everywhere." So hopefully now the lime will burn them off.
It should, if they're little young sapling ones, sort of thing.
You're going to tell us about this spreader?
Yeah, so this spreader is one I learnt my trade on back when I was working for Brian, and yeah, fairly straightforward land drive spreader. You got 3 spool valves which connect in. So you've got one spool valve that does the spinning disc on the back, because that's controlled by hydraulics. You've then got one that engages the belt, and then you've also got one that does your door on the back, so that controls how much you're applying. So as you drive along, you engage your belt, which is then driven off of the wheels. So underneath there is a driven axle. So the faster you drive, the faster this belt in here will turn. So it doesn't matter if you're fast, slow, you control your application rate by the door on the back, which is the ram there in the center. So obviously if you wanted it more, you open it up. If you want less, you shut the door down. This then also, back in the days, you can see there's a red piece along the side of the spreader, which actually flips from left to right. Back when Brian first started spreading, they used to actually have a set of ramps that you pulled behind the spreader, and they'd put the ramps to the side, and they'd back then lorries up to it. So the lorry would be up here, they'd tip the lorry up straight into the spreader. But then health and safety come in and that stopped that. So now it's all tipped onto the floor like we've done today, loaded with machines. Another step for this spreader, which was what was also called land drive. Some tractors have got land drive PTO. So on your PTO shaft, where a lot of us put your shaft on for etc., dung spreading, mowers, etc., all the rest of it, some tractors actually link that to their forward speed. So as they go forward, it turns a PTO as a certain gear ratio, and the lime spreader, you would be able to connect a PTO shaft from the spreader to the tractor. So as you spun your wheels, or as you turn your wheels, it drove the shaft, which then would actually drive the wheels on the lime spreader, resulting in today, if this one was land driven and you connected it up, you'd in theory have 6-wheel drive. So the lime spreader would actually push yourself along. It's all to do with the gear ratio, so not every tractor's got it. But back in the day when they had a heavier lime spreader, I think they started on 135 Massey's, 165s, this sort of size spreader, and obviously just got bigger and bigger. But like I say, you need land drive on the tractor to then couple it up to the spreader, etc., and make it all work. But no, all in all, good old spreader this one is. Yeah, gone on well.
Question is, Leigh, when you starting your YouTube channel?
Me? Do you reckon I should?
Everyone's asking. Everyone's asking.
Well, I might do.
Well, I am.
Yeah, you are.
That knowledge needs a channel. That's what it is.
Perhaps so. Send in some name ideas and we'll see where we go with it.
That's right. There we go.
Ideal.
Anyway, a massive thank you to Leigh for coming and doing that, and for organising with Gussie that we could borrow his spreader. Absolute weapon. Thank you very much. Wouldn't have been able to do it without it. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about our lime spreading. What have you done in lime spreading before? Any tips for anyone else who's looking at lime spreading in the comments below. And we'll hopefully see some improvement in our fields over the coming videos over the next year or so. So get rid of that yellow grass, get rid of those rushes, and have some beautiful green lush grass. Anyway, we'll see you in the next one. Cheerio, bye.